Since 2019, DW Excavating has been serving Roane and surrounding counties. We offer services including, but not limited to, repairing driveways, construction site preparation, drainage solutions, property brush clearing, farm road construction, culvert repair and installation, and utility line installation and repair. We provide free estimates. Check out our Facebook page or contact us at 304-532-2968 for more information. DW Excavating, taking pride in our work and in our community. DW Excavating is a proud supporter of all Roane County High School athletics. Go Raiders!
Hello, Raider fans. This is Andrew Miller, voice of your Roane County Raiders, inviting you to join us for another action-packed week of Raider football on WVRC 104.7 FM. Last week, the Raiders put together a dominant performance in the biggest win in school history as Roane County advanced to the semifinals of Class AA state championships with a 21-0 victory over the Scott Skyhawks. This week, the Raiders are once again back at home at County Stadium as they will host the number 3-seeded Patriots of Independence High School for a chance to head to the Class AA state championship game. Roane County High School football is brought to you by these community-minded sponsors: Roane General Hospital, McIntosh Hardware, Furniture and Appliance, Jack Garrett Ford, Ashley Insurance, S2F Construction, Joel Baker Law, PLLC, Paramount Surveying, Route 33 Steakhouse, Miller's Suds and Sales, Roane Self Storage, Crazy Little Mamas, APS, Air Production and Services Inc., Circle S Farms, Roane Jackson Technical Center, Old Fences Realty, Backwood Ramblings, Stats Pharmacy, Honest Fred's Flooring, D&D Motors, Hildreth Supply, Family Healthcare, Groves Auto, Ward Depew Realty, Penna's Barbershop, Norman L. Daniels State Farm Agent, Hardman Supply, ECI Environmental Compliance Inc., Carpenter's General Store, Mini Hamilton Health Systems, Poca Valley Bank, Spencer McDonald's, Rich Top Rentals, Spencer Cash Saver, Brandon Dental, DW Excavating LLC, Spencer Pizza Hut, Kirby Insurance, Calhoun Banks, and the Player of the Game Award, sponsored by Willard C. Starcher Auto Parts. Join us this Friday night. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. and kickoff is set for 7 o'clock p.m. right here on your sports leader, WVRC 104.7 FM.
I think Toby should check it out. 100%. Here, John sniffling, so that means that we're on. I think I've frozen Facebook. That's not good. It's never good to freeze Facebook, guys. Good evening, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Raider Review. Give me a second here, John. Make sure. That's not good. Yeah, see?
It's the remix.
It's working now. I feel like I might as well just be a techie at this point.
You are getting good on the fly. I mean,
yeah, I feel good.
We've had to figure a few things out.
I feel good.
Especially Friday night during the game when the computer started getting cold.
Listen, sometimes you got to go lo-fi. And lo-fi means taking the only heating source you have, closing the windows, and putting the heating source directly on the laptop to make sure that you can finish the ball game.
I was thinking about that. Do we set up like a canopy inside?
No canopies.
Oh,
even a mini canopy just
on the inside.
On the inside of our press box?
Just do what you want.
At this point with the SSAC, I'm about to do
all bets are off at this point. We do appreciate everyone for tuning in to episode 16. Here is some history.
Yes.
For you guys. We, in the 7, 8, 9 years, however many we've done, the Raider Review show, have never, ever done a 16th episode. It's never happened.
Hey, man, I'm cool with doing a 17th episode.
I would prefer to do a 17th and 18th episode,
yeah.
And then we're going to do gift exchange at that point because the 18th episode
will be on Christmas.
Would be on the – well, let's see, what is today? Today is the 4th, right? So it would be the 11th next week, and then it would be the 18th So 5 days short of Christmas would be Wednesday the 18th, and that would be our 18th episode.
5 days short of Christmas.
Or 7. I don't know.
December 23rd?
I forgot to carry the 1.
Christmas, December 23rd this year?
Well, I'm kind of a Festivus guy, so
Yes.
it's a Festivus for the rest of us.
Gotcha.
It's my own little version of Christmas before Christmas, since I could never wait for the actual Christmas to come.
3 crazy nights.
It is episode 16. We are in a packed house here tonight from Route 33 Steakhouse. I got lazy. I do apologize. I didn't bring the fan cam. I wish I had because, yeah, I know, all right? I was the only one here to carry the equipment in again. So the bar is almost full, and if you look out amongst the crew, there are a ton of human beings here. I don't need that, Coach. Thank you very much. But we have a special set of human beings that are here tonight as well. Rather large individuals who play football for Roane County. And Coach Burdett said that he talked to his linemen top to bottom and said, we need to do like a hog slop, like a hog meal or something like that for the hogs. And I guess he's been talking about this since maybe Mingo Central. And tonight, they said, well, tonight's the night.
They're like, Coach, we're extra hungry right now.
Yeah. On top of that, when Angie came in, she was like, I think they've got like 7 linemen coming. Nah. There's about 15 kids here who are hungry at a steakhouse.
You know, all of them deserve it.
Yeah.
They all do deserve that. You know, we talk about them week in and week out during the game that line of scrimmage is where it starts and ends. And, you know, just couldn't be more proud of the effort that these guys give. And when we talk about it as well, that they don't get the shine that they should, but that's part of being a lineman. Toby, I'm sure that you are in the same situation back in your day.
Oh, yeah. There's Hamrick and McCulty.
Nobody ever talks about Toby.
Listen, I'm gonna call foul on that one. The dancing bear
Yeah.
was his own really impressive human being. Now, it may have been because you were also a really good punter, but the O-lineman, D-lineman part of it, you didn't get any love for that.
Within the groups we did.
Yeah.
Nah, I think we all got treated pretty fairly
Wow.
those days. And these guys, it's just that's just comes with the territory, and it's just what it is. Linemen just don't get it, don't get the praise from the public. That's not who the public sees.
Right.
So, of course, you're not going to get it.
Yeah,
So,
not your average person that's just tuning in is not watching to see who's pulling and who's setting the trap and who's pancaking somebody.
That's
but,
right.
You know, very proud of them.
Toby, let me ask you that real quick. By the way, we're with athletic director Toby Ford, if people don't know.
Hey, listen, he's
Those who are listening
They-
on the
they know
radio
this guy
don't
is
know.
now.
They just assume now that the silky smooth voice of Toby Ford. So let me ask you about your thoughts on that. What motivates an offensive lineman then? Because probably early on, if you play football long enough and you're a lineman for a while, I mean, I know sometimes you don't become a lineman until middle school, high school, whatever it may be. When you find out you're not getting all the press clippings, what motivates a lineman then at that point?
Success of the team, personally in my case. I mean, I know that, of course, it's preached to you all along from youth league all the way through. It's a team sport. One part of it doesn't work, then the whole thing just falls apart.
Yeah.
So that's if the running back's not getting their yards, then the first people getting yelled at are the linemen because you're not doing your job. So motivation is
The fear of retribution from your coaches?
one, yes, for sure. One,
played for Coach Hamrick.
to win the game. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Right.
want to win the game. That's
Yeah.
the whole reason why we're playing there, right? Just
Yeah.
to get out there and win. And we know that if we don't do it, then it's not going to work. And that's the mentality you got to have, and I think this group has got that mentality. So.
Briar Nichols, right? Did he kick an extra point at one point in his time? I was talking to him, and we were talking about it was when Nathan Reynolds and Dylan were there, and they were scoring a ton of points, and I said something about that maybe Nathan scored 4 touchdowns or something, and he said, no, we scored 4 touchdowns. those, that really put it into perspective of how he thought of it. And I played running back but coaching offensive line and things like that, you really look at it and say, yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think back to when I played and had success, and then I didn't have success. It was because of the guys up front. And I always like to make sure that we point out what these guys do every Friday night, because you can see them just breaking the will of the other team and just pushing. It's like a maroon wave, right, where they're just blowing guys off the ball, and it opens up the opportunities for Lane and Shea and Clay and Jacob to do what they do. Without those guys that are here tonight putting up a big bill, that wouldn't happen for our running backs.
For sure. And I think it comes down to leadership within your team too, and I think we have that also with Jake and those older guys that have been playing for a while.
Yeah.
They know exactly what it takes for them to be successful, and they give the praise to these guys. There's I give examples all the time of when I played. One specific real quick one that we're in Williamstown playing, and the play was called away from me, and I didn't go downfield and block like I should have, and Jay made sure I knew that. And then we called again later in the game, but he told me back in the huddle, if you block that guy, I score a touchdown, and maybe not in those words, but anyway.
Probably more and more colorful.
Yes. So they called again later in the game, and I went down, and I didn't necessarily get a huge block, but I screened him off, and I was downfield, and he went down and scored. And he came right back and told me, I told you if you got that guy, I would score. And so it's the leadership within the team. And these guys have that. It's the pride of knowing that what you're doing is going to make your team win.
Yeah.
And that's what it is all.
And I love the way you said it, John. This set of hogs over there, they tend to break people. They're so patient in what they do because they know that it may be just an absolute dogfight for the first half, even into the third quarter, but they are eventually going to break your will. That's what they pride themselves on when playing defenses, very solid defenses. And again, it's so interesting to me that the ones who, we say it every week, we go offensively as the O-line goes. It doesn't happen without them. Now, lead blocking is important as well, the athletic ability of the skill guys as well. But if you don't have those front linemen doing what they do, nothing happens the way it happens for Roane County. It's so interesting that what I consider to be, and what we have said for many years, even when coaching, the most important position on the field on offense is the line.
Yes.
The most important position gets the least love.
Right.
So.
Yeah. We preach that to these guys since they were 5, 6, 7 years old. And back then, once they got to about A-team in the middle school, we were putting in the lingos and the wording of the high school stuff. Nobody was pulling or trapping or doing much of that at that time. So when they get to the high school, they start figuring those things out. And Coach, they've done a great job of setting up the blocking schemes for these guys to be successful. But you got to be smart too, man. You've got to be smart enough to understand what they're bringing in front of you, the fronts, and they've just been tremendous all year. I mean, we're 12-0, guys.
Yeah, don't get that way without a line that's that committed to the job. Again, we are here with Coach Ford, Athletic Director Toby Ford, and we have got a huge, full-packed house here. We invite you guys to come down and have a good time. Want to send some shout-outs. Pigpen, our good buddy who is one of our main listeners for many years, he is in Wyoming this time. That's very odd.
How's the weather?
Yeah, how's the weather in Wyoming? If it's getting ready to snow here, Wyoming's probably overloaded. Got to say hi to Billy Moorhead tuning in. Angela Jaggers, and Rodney Cox says, where's the legendary Paul Burdett? He's got to eat first before he comes onto the air with us here. So, Toby, obviously didn't want to just talk about your specific time as an offensive lineman and getting yelled at by both Coach Hamrick and his son Jay. We want to talk about, once again, we'll continue to bring up the situation. Obviously, we have never hosted a semifinal matchup in Class AA. But is everything the same when it comes to you got to get tickets, you got to get parking situation? Is everything the same still?
Everything still follows the same lead, but we hope for more people.
Yes.
But it's still the same.
Yeah, so gofan.co, go to the WVSSAC, and then scroll down and find the Roane County
when I
versus
looked at the link this
Independence.
year, I think we're the top game on
Really?
it. I think so. We're the first one listed.
All right.
I believe last time I looked.
You may not have to scroll
Roane County,
very far.
Tennessee.
Huh?
Yeah, not Roane County, Tennessee. Roane County,
No.
West Virginia.
Roane County, West Virginia. Yeah, same deal. Matter of fact, when I put on the school's link on the page to share, I said, "You guys know the routine by now," and I shared the link.
Yeah,
So there
yeah.
you go. Go get those tickets. Again, an opportunity to come out and support these kids at home once
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Last time.
Last time.
Last time. Win or lose.
Win, lose, or draw.
Last time at home, you can come to support them.
Yeah.
So if you haven't come and seen these guys yet, you need to come watch these guys live.
They need
you
support.
to come watch them live.
Yeah, we need to get loud and rowdy in the stands for this team. It'll take that and everything to defeat the team that's going to be coming here on Friday Night Independence. Obviously an arch nemesis, even though we've only played them 3 times. They've beat us 3 times, twice to end our season in the playoffs, including last year in the opening round.
We've played them 4 times, right? We beat them. We beat them before. Not in the playoffs.
According to Jim Cooper, we have it.
No. Tyler May broke one. He ran through Noah Adams, and we scored. I think it was 21.
I'll let you and Jim deal with that.
21-7.
I'll let you and Jim deal with that.
I know I'm right.
Yeah, I'll let you and Jim deal with that.
There's nothing. We were in the black unis.
Yeah, you guys could take care of that at some other time, other than making me wrong for the 50th time on the air, as always. It's amazing how many times he calls me. But I want to say this. I got one back on him this year.
He did. So we're
one.
good for the next 10 years.
I got 1 out of 1,000 for the next 10 years. It was so glorious. And I got Matt, too, by the way.
Yeah.
So I got them both in the same year.
In the same year.
I feel like it's just like my destiny to win the lottery at this point.
Well, here's the thing. We don't always call them out on all
They
the
call
wrong
me
stuff.
out 98% of the time.
Well, just think if they did 100% of the time, you'd be way less.
We wouldn't get anything else done. The broadcast would falter. So, anyways, if it's not motivation enough for the fans to get out there, I don't know what can be motivation. You know the weather's going to be chilly. Dress accordingly. Bring a space heater if you want to. It's got to be one that's obviously not plug-in, though, because you're going to be in the stands. But it's going to be a good – they've got new technology nowadays. You got hot hands and stuff like that. You
They
got
have
these
jackets
that warm themselves. Yeah, come on. No excuses.
Bleacher seats that warm. I mean,
Yes, there are very few excuses at this point to not come out and support this team. Again, gofan.co, WVSSAC, it's the first one. Parking situation exactly the same, Coach Ford.
exactly the same. Still running the shuttles. We're expecting, I'm sure Independence will bring a crowd. Why would it's the state semifinals, guys?
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't care if you're home or away, whatever. You're going to bring people to this game.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll have many people with coaches' passes coming from various schools just because they're not playing and we are.
Yeah.
And so they want to come watch a game. So
Yeah.
there's going to be people here, and I hope the whole home side is full. That would be completely awesome. And I'm saying that, and I don't get hardly any of the money. The school
Right.
doesn't get hardly any of this.
Yeah.
But I want people there, just to come watch these guys play and support them.
It's a big deal. Obviously, if you are a social media person out there, John, we've seen so many cool things happening on social media, skits happening from different businesses, and that's one thing to help continue to build the excitement around this game. Let's hope that people feel the excitement, go on and get a ticket and come to this game, though.
Yeah, I mean, why would you not come support the local team that has made history? You hear it all the time that these kids put in so much time and effort and work, and it's been that way for the seniors for the past 4 years. They've dedicated themselves to the weight room. They've dedicated themselves to understanding the playbook, the process, and all those things. People do not truly know how much time you put into that, and that goes for the coaching staff as well. I know I did it for a couple years, and it was a grind, an absolute grind. But I've thought about it a lot throughout this last couple weeks. Just a blessing to have a group of kids, a group of coaches, and a community like we have. So show up and support these guys. Show up and just have a good time. Be there for history. Be there for history.
Just looking down the list, Jason Potters says Toby and then puts 2 flexes up there for you. I don't know what that means. Katie White, who is not with us tonight. Usually she and Matt are here, but she's a little under the weather, so
Matt is here.
Matt
just
has
pulled
made it
in.
down. Metro News Game of the Week. I would agree there, Rodney. The true seniors night for sure. Yeah, this is the last home game officially for Rowan County, and I agree. 2 more games, Jay. We'll take care of the first one first and see what happens there. Robert Atkinson, hello from Spencer. Good to see you tuning in as well. Well, Toby, this has obviously been an interesting season to navigate, especially the postseason with all the SSAC stuff for you. And what has happened is, as an athletic director, this has kind of pushed your hand on some things because we've got winter sports happening now. So what is the situation with you guys? Obviously, we know that Saturday there is a full tournament in wrestling happening.
That was the first thing last Saturday night when Independence finished their game against Philip Barber. The SSAC has a group text so they can say, where we playing at, what day and time. And I saw Coach John Lilly's name popped up on a text, and he said he was ready for the phone call, and I said, please pick Friday night because Saturday I have a 10-team wrestling tournament at our school, and he said it will be Friday at 7.
Oh. So fantastic.
I was like,
thank goodness.
And the SSAC guy said, that's relief free off your shoulders. And I said, you darn right it is.
Could you imagine a 10-team wrestling tournament at the high school with a semifinal football playoff game at the same time?
Crazy. I mean, my weekend's crazy anyways. Coaching middle school wrestling plus broadcasting, and then I have a high school kid on the team, high school wrestler as well. So Friday night I miss out on the middle school wrestling because it's a 2-day tournament. I wouldn't miss this game for the world. I love my kids. Sorry, fellas, but Mom will be there to take videos, Coach Williams will be there and Coach Sam will be there. Saturday, I've got to show up because I'm an assistant coach, so I will be at GW High School while Drew and Matt, thank goodness for Matt, taking over the color commentating for the Gary Bender. So I'll be coaching and I'll be streaming the Gary Bender. But man, I mean, I'm excited to be able to do that and call the high school game, and my kids understand. Trust me.
There you go.
Yeah, they should.
To answer your question, it is tricky. Every sport has got somebody involved with football.
Yeah.
Girls basketball has Ava Bratton. Boys basketball team has 5 guys, I think, and wrestling has probably 9 or 10. So every sport is not at their full strength now at the beginning of the season. Thankfully, these sports are not like football, whereas if you lose because you're not at full strength, I'm not saying we're going to lose, but if you do, you're not at full strength, you still get in the tournament.
Exactly.
You still have a chance to win at the end of the year to get to the state tournament, whereas football, you lose, you drop in the rankings. So it's thankful for that. And the whole body's in the water right now. We're going. So.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. There is so there was an early change that Lady Raider basketball was supposed to get started on Tuesday with a trip to Webster County. But that got canceled, or did it get moved?
Well, we had some injuries.
Okay.
We have low numbers anyway for the girls basketball team, and then Ava being still in football, it makes it lower. And then we had a few injuries and a couple sickness. And Shandy said, "Hey, listen, do you think that Webster would be happy to reschedule it?" And I said, "Sharon Baird, the AD at Webster, is easy to work with.
Yeah.
Everybody in the conference is easy to work with. And if it was." I'm not saying if it was an out of conference, but I'm comfortable with those schools, and she was like, of course, no problem. And it's rescheduled for the 16th next Monday.
Okay.
So it's been rescheduled and good to go.
Good. So unfortunately, though, since we are late into the season, and again, this would be the championships no matter what. So even if the injunction hadn't happened and Rowan County was still playing this week, it'd be the state title game, so they'd still be
same situation.
Yeah. But the girls basketball team will officially start their season, as far as I know, unless anything's changed, Toby, Friday night on the road at Braxton County.
Still Friday night at Braxton. Yep. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes, though. I mean, it's just
you got to get your season started at some point.
We talked about to Braden and the girls, and if we are lucky enough to win Friday night championship, may be a different story.
Yeah.
Maybe we can move those games for those kids to be able to go watch in Charleston.
Yeah. History been made here again, just for Rowan County's first ever trip to the semifinals, and again, we know what's on the line here. Got to take care of 1-0 once again this week before any thoughts of that happen. But boy, it'd be nice if you had that problem in scheduling, Toby. That would be
That's the
really,
truth.
really cool. I had a question from Dominic Norm out there. If we make it to the championship game, fingers crossed, yes, will we be able to broadcast it? No, we are done no matter what on Friday night because the WVSSAC has partnered with West Virginia Metro News. They have exclusive rights totally for all of the championship games. So no other program, no other broadcast crew will be able to broadcast that. And I tell you what, I'm okay with it because if we make it there, it'll be the first time I have watched a Roane County High School football game in the stands as a fan since 2006.
Oh, you're not going to stay home and watch the stream?
I am not going to be staying home. If I'm on my deathbed, I'll pass COVID. I don't care. I'm going to that one. So, yeah, so that's what we got going on. And again, Lady Raiders basketball does start their season on Friday at Braxton County. Saturday, wrestling team gets started. Of course, they're going to be down a lot of numbers, but they're going to get started at the Gary Bender Invitational on Saturday at the Castle at Roane County High School. And then boys basketball scheduled to get started next week on the 10th. Is that correct? Monday
Correct,
the 10th?
versus Ripley.
They will host Ripley.
Monday the 10th or Tuesday?
Is that Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday.
Okay.
Sorry. I should know that because on Sunday we're doing a big thing too, and it's the 8th, and I keep forgetting.
Yeah, and Tuesday, what do I have? I have Spencer Middle School a home meet on Tuesday.
All right. Yeah. So, not that he does basketball with us anyway, but that's all right. Anyways, Toby, I do appreciate you keeping us updated and informed on all the information that we need. And, of course, one more time, people show up. GoFan.co. And, again, if you don't get your tickets in advance, if you're not familiar with the process at this point, and you show up ready to buy a ticket, well, you can still buy a ticket virtually at the gate because you do have the iPads there, right?
I have an iPad there, or you can still use your phone, but the people will help you guide you through it and make you work. And we've had to do that a few times, and it's been no issue.
Yes.
So just come up and enjoy the game. So.
Absolutely. Well, Toby, stick around. Coach Burdett's going to come on with us here. I think he is done eating. He looks like he's done eating. He's given us the sign.
He's mingling.
So we'll take a quick break here, and when we come back, we will get Coach Burdett on talking about that monumental victory last week over Scott.
Hello, Raider fans. This is Andrew Miller, voice of your Roane County Raiders, inviting you to join us for another action-packed week of Raider football on WVRC 104.7 FM. Last week, the Raiders put together a dominant performance in the biggest win in school history as Roane County advanced to the semifinals of Class AA state championships with a 21-0 victory over the Scott Skyhawks. This week, the Raiders are once again back at home at County Stadium as they will host the number 3-seeded Patriots of Independence High School for a chance to head to the Class AA state championship game. Roane County High School football is brought to you by these community-minded sponsors: Roane General Hospital, McIntosh Hardware, Furniture and Appliance, Jack Garrett Ford, Ashley Insurance, S2F Construction, Joel Baker Law, PLLC, Paramount Surveying, Route 33 Steakhouse, Miller's Suds and Sales, Roane Self Storage, Crazy Little Mamas, APS, Air Production and Services Inc., Circle S Farms, Roane Jackson Technical Center, Old Fences Realty, Backwood Ramblings, Stats Pharmacy, Honest Fred's Flooring, D&D Motors, Hildreth Supply, Family Healthcare, Groves Auto, Ward Depew Realty, Penna's Barbershop, Norman L. Daniels State Farm Agent, Hardman Supply, ECI Environmental Compliance Inc., Carpenter's General Store, Mini Hamilton Health Systems, Poca Valley Bank, Spencer McDonald's, Rich Top Rentals, Spencer Cash Saver, Brandon Dental, DW Excavating LLC, Spencer Pizza Hut, Kirby Insurance, Calhoun Banks, and the Player of the Game Award, sponsored by Willett C. Starcher Auto Parts. Join us this Friday night. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. and kickoff is set for 7 o'clock p.m. right here on your sports leader, WVRC 104.7 FM.
Solutions, property brush clearing, farm road construction. Since 2019, DW Excavating has been serving Roane and surrounding counties. We offer services including, but not limited to, repairing driveways, construction site preparation, drainage solutions, property brush clearing, farm road construction, culvert repair and installation, and utility line installation and repair. We provide free estimates. Check out our Facebook page or contact us at 304-532-2968 for more information. DW Excavating, taking pride in our work and in our community. DW Excavating is a proud supporter of all Roane County High School athletics. Go Raiders!
me, John?
I can.
Good, I can hear you too. It's always a good sign.
Sweet.
I'm telling you, this music grows on me every time. It's very funky.
Yeah.
It's almost if, let's say the Bee Gees got together with Diana Ross and then sprinkled in a little bit of Coldplay.
Whoa.
There you go. That's something to think about.
That's a mashup that I would have never thought of. I just watched a documentary. What's it called? Yacht
Rock?
Yacht Rock.
Is it a documentary?
There's a documentary on HBO Max. It's called Yacht Rock, and I have downloaded a lot of music recently.
Well, Yacht Rock's a station.
No, Yacht Rock is a
It's like jock rock, jock tunes or whatever.
right.
But,
yeah,
but it's
Yacht
for
Rock.
yachts.
Yes,
Yacht Rock's also a station.
Well, yeah, but it's also like a
On XM Radio, I have it.
right. But it's also
Do you have a yacht?
No, I don't.
no. But we do rock.
But that's a
to
great.
like the Doobie Brothers.
So they
and
did a documentary about
It
it?
is so good. You've got to watch it.
All right.
You've got to watch it.
Wait, is it on Netflix?
No, it's on HBO Max.
I don't have either of those things, so sorry.
Well,
I'm
You're
out.
in.
I'll have to steal yours.
yeah. I
do what I
Chuck,
do.
good with me and a password, right?
Yeah, that's what I got to do is just borrow. I say borrow
Yeah.
from the general public. Hey, we're here at Route 33 Steakhouse. Man, it is packed here, and we are packed here in like sardines at our table. Now that Coach Burdett has joined us. Coach, we were just talking at the beginning of this broadcast. It's a full house, and you got some big boys over there with you, and it's really good to have the offensive linemen for your team over there, and I'm sure they are eating this place out of house, home, and steak.
Yeah, if anybody wants to send donations my way this evening,
Paul is never going to financially recover from
there's
this.
about 10 of them over there. Any donations are welcomed.
They are chowing down.
Maybe Jorge will take a cow from you.
There you go. See?
There you go.
We could trade it out, I guess. Probably going to come up on the short side of that one, too, though.
Well, you just continue to come here every Wednesday night and eat by yourself.
Yeah.
You know, we could make some deals.
Yeah.
There could be some deals made.
Yeah.
Once
Bartering is the best way.
Once
Yeah,
again,
obviously.
what kind of cows do you have again? What are they called?
Gelby.
Gelvy.
Yeah.
I've
the
asked him
best beef.
thousands of times.
It's the best beef around.
the best beef around.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the way it looks, the way it's spelled, ugh. Gelvia.
No, it's
Sounds
Gelby.
delicious.
It sounds
German.
delicious.
It's German.
Hey, the Germans know how to make.
Gelb.
Smoked meat.
V-I-E-H.
That's true.
All right, Gelvia.
Gelby.
Gelvy. All right, I've got it now.
Some
It's
people pronounce it Gelve.
Gelve.
That does
Don't
sound
try
a
to
little
church
fancy.
it up,
Yeah,
Dirt,
that's a
all
little
right?
fancier.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go a long ways with it.
You're from Barcut, though.
I'm from Barcut. I call it Gelby.
I called a cow.
Toby does.
Toby doesn't care what kind as long as it's the cow and it's got meat.
Toby's had Gelby burger.
Really?
Yeah.
Toby, what's your analysis?
Very good. Very lean.
Yes.
Okay, then. All right, then. Totally good for you, then. I'm down.
Well, I got my opportunity if you need some beef.
If anybody needs to know.
Plugging it right now.
Farmer Burdett over here now. Well, Coach, obviously.
I don't even know where my farm's at these days. So.
You do spend a lot of time up on the hill because, well, I mean, it's your fault, Coach. You guys keep winning.
Nah, it's not my fault. It's these boys.
Yeah. No wonder you got to come over here and feed them now.
It's a good fault.
Good fault to have. Last week, obviously, you said it's in the interview with Metro News. I think it's a pretty good sentiment for all of us involved that, yes, that was the biggest win in school history because, obviously, we had never been there before. We've never been to the game that we're getting ready to play. That's the Class AA semifinals and a chance to play for a state title.
You did notice what I said in that interview with Joe Bricato, though, right?
I didn't. What did you say that I missed?
I said it was the biggest win in school history to date.
To date.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a big deal too. You know, and I think that's it's interesting you say that because it could be like funny or whatever, but it's true because this group, it was a big win. Next game, huge win. Next game though, that win's over. But let's not let it be over just yet. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Man, a lot of fun. Cold atmosphere. The snow came pounding down on County Stadium before the ball game. There was a lot of snow on the field. The environment, the way it was, man, just perfect to play a game like that. And your boys reacted and they responded well to the environment, number one.
Yeah, obviously it probably played in our hand a little bit with the snow. Although the snow really didn't fall much during the game. Temperatures were cold. But it was absolute. I maybe not have said it, maybe not feels the way that I do had we not won, but it was beautiful. I mean, just the snow before, and then at the end of the game, it starts pouring snow again, and we're taking a knee in the middle of the snow. It was pretty awesome, pretty awesome.
I tell you, it was a real magical time to be at County Stadium for those who did make the trip there to County Stadium. Again, it does make a lot. John and I always talk about this, man. Snow games for football, there's just something different about them that you just really get excited for. And to be able to go into that environment, to be able to play a team who, I think, and John, I think that you and I would agree on this, was probably playing the best football in Class AA other than Roane County in the final 5 games of the season. And they had a lot of momentum riding coming into that ball game. And you guys were able to, number one, limit any sort of damage in the passing game. And then on top of that, you guys were able to really corral David Fennessy in that first half. And I think what that did was that really got the coaching staff for the Skyhawks try to scratch their head as to how they were going to try to figure out a way to attack this defense that you guys put on the field.
Yeah, I think we had a really good game plan. Scott's a great football team, and we had watched a lot of film of them, and probably picked up on some tendencies, and worked our plan in around what we had seen, and the key was to make sure we stopped the run, force the pass, and when it was time to pass, we wanted to get after the quarterback and get him uncomfortable. And I felt like our guys up front did a great job on the defensive side of the ball of getting pressure and containing the run, which is exactly what we asked them to do. And then our guys in the back end covered very well. I mean, we had 2 picks, one for a touchdown. Both picks very big. I think Cooper's was probably a major turning point, momentum, and psychologically in the game, and really set us on the right track, or on the track that we needed at that point in time. I mean, it's a 7-point game, and I think we had. Was that before the kick? No, it was a kick block that somehow wasn't blocked, even though it was 3 feet off the ground.
The punt.
The punt.
I was waiting to ask him about that. He fixed that for me already.
So that was a little discouraging, but it was all right there together. It was in the second quarter.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was before or after the interception.
I think it was after. I think we got down. I think they punted. We got it. Went down, and then I think it was on their next possession.
Yeah, that was that could have been a crucial play had things been different. I mean, we were going to score right there. We had the ball on the 15-yard line.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so essentially you have 8 downs to go 15 yards. Obviously if you get the first down.
Yeah.
But we had been pretty consistent on 3 yards down. So, but it didn't happen, and it ended up paying off and being okay. But great job by our guys on the defensive side, for sure.
You held Scott to under 100 yards of total offense, according to what we have on our list, and that's something. A team that is averaging 35+ a game, a team that can run and pass the ball, and showed the penchant for passing no matter what the weather was like. They did go through the air a good bit, and they had some looks, and they had some guys that they were dumping short routes to.
Pressure,
and you guys were,
pressure,
that was huge, being able once again to pressure a quarterback and make him release uncomfortably.
Yeah, and we have faced so many spread teams this year. Shady ran the ball from under center a little bit. Lincoln County was all spread. Clay County was all spread. Lewis was wing T. Poca was spread. Logan was spread. Mingo was spread. North Marion was spread. Ripley was spread. Chapmanville was spread. So
Braxton.
Braxton, not.
They were all over the
They
place.
were something.
Sorry, what you diagnose that
I
as?
left it out of there.
The quads?
No.
That was a few years back.
They did some. They had a lot of formations, but they all ended up being about the same in the end. But so we were comfortable. I mean, we've gotten ourselves in a position where we're kind of comfortable playing those types of teams. I think that's probably why I was so up in the air when we were supposed to play Moorfield, because it was like looking in a mirror, and I'm like, man, we haven't had to play this much this year. You know, you don't play your own style very much.
Yeah.
Not around here, anyways. But they've gotten comfortable in doing that. I don't want to say comfortable. They've gotten pretty decent in doing it. I'm not a big bragger, so I want to make sure that they feel like they still got to work. But we're going to see the same thing this week too.
Yeah.
So.
Going to be spread out once again. Want to send some shout-outs. A lot of people tuned in. Cindy Critchfield watching from Miami, Florida. I'll bet you it's not as cold down there as it is up here. Jacob Fields wanted to comment about the middle school wrestling situation. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit if we can. Not a lot to update you on just yet, but John's got the information on that. Dylan Clarkson, former wrestler at Roane County High School. Appreciate you tuning in. Jim McCulty watching us as well. I hope he didn't hear that comment that Toby made earlier about all the glory going to Hamrick and McCulty there.
Did you get a text from Matt yet? Hey, talking bad
I
about
hear you talking about it.
He's talking good about him.
Jim Dean tuning in, of course, great job as always. Sean Black tuning in, watching us as well. Elliot Miller, not my sister Elliot Miller, the other Elliot Miller, and that is Jason's not here, is he?
No.
Oh, that's right. He's not considered a hog just yet. David Wolf tuning in as well. Our good buddy Swolby says Yacht Rock rules, and he would say that.
Watch the documentary.
Yeah. Haley Jarvis says got you covered for dinner tomorrow from Roane General Hospital.
All right.
Okay, I
Did you know
appreciate
that was a
that.
radio station, Yacht Rock?
Yeah, did you know it was a radio station, Swolby? Did you know that? David Snyder tuning in as well. So obviously, Coach, again, a historic victory for you guys last week, 100% historic last week. But again, last week was last week. And so you guys go right back to work this week. You remain focused on a new task at hand, I'm sure. How long did it take you to start breaking down film on Independence / Philip Barber before you knew who was going to win that one?
I think we had seen Independence quite a bit this year. We've seen him against Mingo Central. We've seen him against Scott just last week. Watching a bunch of film, so we had seen him and had an idea of what they were going to do, and I think we probably felt like they were probably going to be the team that would win between that matchup. But we enjoyed Saturday, Friday night and Saturday, and enjoyed the win from Friday night. And we got back to work on Sunday. Put a lot of time, a lot of hours, a lot of computer work in on Sunday, and then again on Monday. There's always a lot of time, a lot of prep that goes into it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time.
Well, your boys have all been on the field now for a couple of days of practice and film study. What's the general feel from the guys practicing now in the first week of December?
Yeah. Yeah, so, last week, obviously we got to practice during Thanksgiving, and typically Thanksgiving week practice is semifinals.
Yeah.
And so last week I told them, practicing during Thanksgiving wasn't good enough this year. We need to be practicing in December.
Yeah.
And here we are. So, but they've had a good week of practice. These guys are focused. They're a mature group. They've played a lot of football games. They've played a lot of football games, a lot of big-time football games, not just regular games. And I always go back to this. But I really feel like that our 21 team. So let me go back. Coach Stump last week talked about, 2 weeks ago during Chapmanville, talked about the first round of the playoffs being your foundation, building your foundation for your playoff run, and then each week is putting up more walls. I really feel like 2021 for us, those guys set the foundation, reset the foundation for Raider football, and it really got us back on the right track. We had some really good years at the end of Coach Hardman's years and the beginning of my years. Then we hit it, we had a spell in 17 where we were playing a bunch of young kids and things were, things were a little rocky, and then we started building back up, and 21 kind of got it back to where we're supposed to be. But I can remember going to Doddridge County in 21, and it was a big game. We were 7-1. They were highly ranked, and we had a team good enough to beat Doddridge that year, but the lights got really bright that night.
Yeah.
And we got past that night. We got past that. We went to Nicholas County first round of the playoffs, and
it was a totally different vibe.
It was
at
different,
practice.
wasn't it, John? Yeah.
After the Doddridge game at practice that next week when we came in, it was a totally different vibe. Guys played a little bit looser, and then we went to Nicholas County and did what we did.
Yep. And so now you get to where these guys are, and we've played on some pretty bright lights, and none of them being any brighter than last Friday night. But they're mature, and they don't get rattled very easy, and they know we preach to them all the time. Hey, everything is not going to be perfect. Okay, when you play the style of ball that we play, especially on defense, you're going to give up some plays, all right, but you're going to make some plays.
Yeah. And
it's kind of it's a give and take. So they just stay the course, and the same for this week at practice. I mean, they're the same group. I love them, and I've told them 10 years ago I'd have had a stroke already. It's just the facts of life. But they're a great group of kids, and mentally, they understand what we're doing, and to a point where sometimes we rep it so much, you can see they're like, we know, you know what I mean? Like, they're not. It's not to the point like I'm not doing that, you know what I'm saying? But it's like we know, right? So, but we've had a great week. Been a little cold. It appears as if it's going to be a whole lot colder tomorrow, but that's okay. I gave them a choice to be not on the field tomorrow, and they said no, we're going to be on the field.
Yeah.
So
they're going to play in it the following night.
They
anyway,
are.
so.
It's going to be cold Friday for sure.
Yeah. We wanted to talk about this special group you got beside you, obviously the Hogs that you have with you. A lot of fun to have them. I was talking with Toby earlier. I said, obviously the offensive line is a group that's we often praise and say we go as the O-line goes, 100%. It's such an important role. We used to preach it at the midget league level to some of these guys, as John said, is the most important position on offense is the whole line. The whole offensive line is vastly important. So I asked Toby about that. I was like, well, you're not going to get any of the love, like the clippings in the press. So what motivates you as a lineman? Number one, he said retribution and anger from the coach would be the first motivator.
First and foremost, yes.
But Toby, what else did you talk about? Like just the sense of team, the sense of the victory, knowing that you've done your job to help that?
Because you've been taught all the way, like you guys preach in youth league all the way through, that you go as the O-line goes, and you know that. You listen to that, and you listen to your coaches and understand that if I don't do my job or we don't do our job up front, then we don't score the points. And I said before, I never thought of it as anybody getting the glory or whatever. Like he said about somebody said about Breyer. We scored the touchdown.
Yeah.
When I played, Spencer won the game. I think these guys are the same, but Roane County is winning the games.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care who scores or what it is or whatever, as long as they're winning the games. And that's the main thing. That's the attitude you got to have.
I got a great compliment a couple weeks ago from a coach, and he said he was talking about our program. He started out by saying, you guys have a great team, and he stopped. He said, no, you you've built a great program. He said, you can tell by watching your guys on the field that there's no selfishness involved.
Yeah.
All they care about is winning as a group.
Yeah.
And it's true. You know, I mean, it's a blessing to sit here and look at these guys, be friends and brothers outside the locker room, not just on the field. And, you know, these guys, they don't get a lot of glory. You know, they're not the guys running in the end zone. They're not the guys that's getting a picture in the paper, that type of stuff. But they understand what their job is, and they understand how important it is. And it's been a real blessing for me this year. I've dabbled in the O-line throughout my career. Only had it really by myself, or not even by myself. I kind of walked into it one year and kind of took it over. But this is the first year that I've been with them every day. And I tell you that they get coached very hard.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you even today. I mean, it doesn't stop. And I told them at the beginning of the year, I said, you know what? I said, I always watch it all, and I always see the mistakes on the O-line. I said, but it's going to be even worse this year because I'm with you guys every day. All right, so
I'm going to be focused on you guys now.
Yeah, right, and so it's the first year where we go to practice and we call play, and I don't watch the backfield. I'm only watching the line. But they're a great group of kids. They work so hard, and they have a really tight brotherhood, as anybody that's in here can see. They care about each other. They love to eat food.
Yeah.
And they love
Jason Jett, in fact, asked,
they love to block people.
Is there any food left at 33 right now?
Jason, send me a check, okay? Just don't worry about the food. Just send me a check.
Help us out.
Blank.
Blank.
Yeah. A blank check, please, if you don't mind. Oh, and by the way, Rodney Cox, SMX or SXM does have a Yacht Rock channel. They have a Christmas channel. How about that?
Tell Rodney to send a check.
Yeah, Rodney, send a check, please. Things are getting out of hand here. Too many big bodies eating too much food.
They're ordering dessert. Oh my gosh!
Oh, no. Did you know this? Did you know that dessert was involved in that? Oh, I tell you what a great group of kids, and I'm glad that you guys were able to get the hog dinner here. And again, we don't want to go over too long here tonight because one of the teammates is actually getting ready to go live on the high school sports line. They do the high school sports line for WV Metro News every Wednesday from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And these guys want to get out of here, too, because they want to see their teammate. They want to listen to Lane Watson, who's going to be a guest on that. And that's a really cool thing as well for Roane County. You know, it takes a full team effort, but it's really nice when others around the state of West Virginia start to really recognize the capabilities of these kids. You know, obviously Lane has had a monster year, and he would be the first one to give the love to his teammates. But Lane will be the representative for you guys on high school sports line tonight, and so that'll be interesting, and we all want to listen to that too, obviously.
Yeah, I think tonight's actually all athletes. I got on and looked. It looked like all athletes. So, yeah, I'm excited to hear what Lane has to say, and he'll speak well. I know he will, and just. You know, I remember years ago when we talked about people in the paper and this and that, and Coach Harvin would always say, it doesn't matter whose name it is, it's going to say Roane behind it.
Yeah.
So you know, they contacted me and asked me about Lane speaking, and I asked Lane. He said, yeah. It didn't matter to me which guy they contacted or which guy they asked to speak because it's going to say Roane after it.
Yeah. Really neat, and I have actually interviewed Lane a couple times. He's a good interviewer.
He is.
He's well
really
spoken.
is. He's a goofball at home.
He's a goofball at home, but well spoken.
It ain't just at home.
Well, around us.
And during practice and in the locker room.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Well, Coach, obviously, number one, congratulations on the biggest win in school history last week to date. And we wish you guys, number one, the best of luck here as you try to go 1-0 once again this week. Exact maybe a small measure of revenge, if you want to call it that. The general public can get excited about that. This team, I'm sure they feel a little bit of that as well. But number one, they feel that they're getting ready to play another football game, another opportunity to go 1-0. That seems to be the mentality of this group. We've seen them for many years, and it's exciting that they are so settled in themselves and confident in themselves that no matter what happens on Friday night, they're going to go give what they have, and that's number one.
You can bank on it. They're going to go out on the field and give 100% every Friday night. And you know, I got a message from a guy today doing an interview, and one of his questions was, you know, do we see this as some type of revenge? You know, I don't think so. I mean,
I think it's a different team.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Independence has beat us twice with 23 and 21. And a lot of these guys were major role players on the team last year.
Yeah.
But it's not the same team.
No.
It's not the same attitude. It's just not the same. And so for these guys Friday night, it's about being 1-0.
Yeah.
I really don't think there's a lot of revenge thought, you know, or this or that. I think it's about going out and winning Friday night and knowing what comes on the other side of it.
Yeah.
I think that their mentality right now is just, it's not a revenge thing. It's just, you know, go out and play our game.
Yeah.
And when we do, things will fall into place, and they have. I mean, Scott was a really good team, and Roane County was pretty good at every single level in that ball game.
Well, as you always say to us, Coach, you know, every time I try to interview pregame, it's always, I'm not worried about so much what they do, it's what we do. It's about us, about how we perform on the field. And you had another chance again Friday night, semifinal action, Class AA. 7 p.m. is the opening kick. If you guys don't show up, I'm going to start knocking on doors at this point. GoFan.co, SSAC. And Toby says it's the first game that shows usually at this point. So Roane County versus Independence. Get yourself a ticket. Get yourselves ready to go. Bundle up for Friday night and come out. Get your noisemakers. It'll be fun. If you guys do get the old-fashioned jug shakers, that'd be great. And it's going to be an awesome opportunity for Roane County once again to go 1-0. Real quick before I give Coach Burdett the meteorology hat, John, did you want to address that middle school situation real quick?
Yeah, I'll address it real quick. This morning, woke up to some news that you don't like to hear. SSCC apparently says that our Walton and Gary wrestlers are not allowed to co-op. They said that it hadn't been done for a few years, which it actually happened last year. We were fortunate enough to find the agreement from last year. I believe that we have the one from Spencer and the one from Walton. So we're going to fight this thing as much as we possibly can. Not only that, the golf team did the same thing. What they're saying is you know, Walton can have a team, Gary can have a team with just one wrestler. That's not really the case. If you understand wrestling, we duel. We're actually going to a dual meet on Friday and Saturday. So it's not really helping our kids out. But myself, Coach Paul Williams, Coach Sam Lawson, the principal at Spencer Middle School and at Walton, we're all in this thing together. I've had a lot of help from Josh Downing as well. We're going to fight this thing tooth and nail. I'm not going to settle for anything but the best for our kids and for our program.
So that's to be determined, obviously. Just a kind of a shot in the gut there for the middle school wrestling program in the county of Roane County. But stick with us, folks. So obviously, we'll give you the information on that as we can. I was waiting for the meteorology before the boss said something. She's in charge. We know this, all right? So before I asked Coach Burdett to become a meteorologist, good throw. A little short.
No. It was a good throw.
You got to sacrifice the body there, and she just jump over top of the railing. So, Coach Burdett's, everything else has been taken care of here tonight, except for you giving us the weather forecast for Friday.
Well, it's going to be cold. I do know that. I don't think there's going to be any precipitation this week. But I'll tell you what, it's not going to be cold at County Stadium Friday night. It's going to be pretty hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would be there early.
Yeah.
And be ready to watch.
Yeah.
Watch what happens.
100%.
Be a part. Be a great night for Raider football. You get a chance to possibly watch something that's not happened here in 33 years.
Yeah. Last time it did, Toby Ford had hair.
A little bit, but it was there.
It was going.
It was thin.
It was a pretty good mane of really dark hair that you really did well coiffed sideways. You did part it well. I will say that.
Thank you. I missed those days.
Now, when you took the helmet off, it was probably disheveled, but You look pretty good when you got your media picture taken.
It always takes me right back to the picture of you and your brother.
The first original Step Brothers picture before it was.
Gosh. There's nothing more glorious than
I tend to believe that whoever wrote Step Brothers and got that picture somehow in their history saw that picture from Toby and Keith.
Probably right.
All right. Yeah, so show up, folks. Again, 7 o'clock Friday night. GoFan.co, type in and look up WVSSAC games, and you'll see Rome County versus Independence. Buy your ticket, get yourselves up there to the game Friday night. Once again, semifinals of Class AA, a trip to Charleston is on the line. John Penny, you always get the last word unofficially.
Hey, let's just go. Let's do it. Let's pack the stadium. No excuses. Zero excuses not to be at County Stadium. You can pull up the game on your phone and watch it from the bleachers if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But be there. Please, no excuses.
100%. Thanks to everybody here. Thanks to Athletic Director Toby Ford once again. Toby, you are number one in my heart still. I promise
thank you.
Thanks to Coach Burdetts for joining us once again. Glad that the Hogs could come hang out and have a good meal here on this Wednesday night. Thanks to John Penna. Thanks to Jorge and his entire crew here at Route 33
And thank you.
Steakhouse. Yes.
Route.
He had me for a while. I'm getting better at
Roots,
this.
ROOT.
All right.
Yeah.
Route 33 Steakhouse. We'll be back again next Wednesday night, folks. We hope it's to talk about 1-0 once again this week. Thank you all.